master and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash one another's feet. Yes, Jesus gives us a model of saving one another. Also, today is very important in our salvific history. It marks the beginning of the traditional Eastern Triduum, which implies a period of 3 days of committed, prayerful activities that will lead us to Easter, revealing God's infinite love and mercy. Significantly, this day is called Holy Thursday or Maundy Thursday. It is called holy because of the hallowed nature of the 3 important activities that constitute the ceremony of this evening: the washing of the feet, the institution of the Holy Eucharist, and the institution of the priesthood. Further, for this day is also known as Maundy Thursday. The word Maundy is derived from the Latin mandatum, which means commandment. The question is, what does this command for, since we seem to have 3 prominent events: the washing of the feet, the institution of the Eucharist, and of the priesthood. Looking at all the events of today closely, we can actually say that the commandment has its roots in humility. In humility. In other words, to be a Christian is an invitation to be humble. To be a Christian is an invitation to live in love. And to be a Christian is an invitation to be in service of God in the earth. Jesus' love is on to the very end. All the things we talk about meal, and in most funerals that we have, when our loved ones have been buried, we come back together to have a meal, to have some drinks, to share with one another. So think of this, how wonderful every family will feel if our loved ones were to give a banquet before their death, just like Jesus did. If our loved ones were to give a banquet before their death, preparing and comforting us before they leave this world, it will be difficult, right? It will be. But that's exactly what Jesus does. And so, he shows appreciation for his disciples and his apostles, preparing them for the future, letting them understand that he's leaving them a memorial of why he came into the world. Memorial of thanksgiving, which is the Eucharist, his body and blood. And so, to be faithful disciples of his death, the invitation for them is to be humble, to be loving, and to be in service. St. Paul affirms this handing on of the Eucharistic tradition in the second reading. God's love for us never fails, and it always is and remains unconditional. According to St. Augustine, God's love is a love without end. Being appreciative, we gather to celebrate this evening. This appreciation comes alive in us when we love God unconditionally in one another. The appreciation of the Eucharist, of the centrality of our Christian faith, comes alive in us when we love God in one another unconditionally. It is when we affirm the dignity of one another as beloved sons and daughters of God. It is we affirm that we believe in the Eucharist, we believe in love, we believe in service when we treat one another with dignity. Doing otherwise is being ungrateful of what Jesus leaves behind for us, which is the Eucharist. Doing otherwise is from the evil one. Yes, refusal to wash the feet of others and to save others is a negation of Jesus' mandate to love. Or indeed,